Hi everybody, this is Avrohom Czapnik from the Jewish Learning Exchange in Los Angeles. I hope you and yours are doing well. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Ki Tisa, and in it there is the story of the golden calf, where the Jewish people miscalculate Moshe's return from Mount Sinai to get the Torah, and they succumb to a very terrible idea, and they make a golden calf to be the intermediary. And in the end, Moshe has to break the tablets and pray on their behalf that they should be forgiven, and eventually bring down second tablets on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. So the evil inclination, or Satan, as someone once said, has the home court advantage. We live in a physical world, and he places all of his temptations and things that we shouldn't be doing in front of us. And he doesn't just place them in front of us, he encourages us and pushes us to do the wrong thing, and of course discourages us from doing the right thing. The famous Rabbi Hutner, a very deep thinker, the dean, the Rosh Yeshiva of the Yeshiva Chai in Berlin, when he was still a single student in the yeshiva in Israel, Shabbat, I overheard from Rabbi Lorius told me a beautiful thing, that someone asked him, who's your study partner? He says, the evil inclination. He says, the evil inclination is your study partner? He says, yeah. He has the best qualities of the best study partner. He has three great qualities. Number one, he's always on time. Number two, he's very smart. And number three, he never gets tired. That's the evil inclination that we have to deal with. Very bad union, doesn't have any vacation time, and is always out to get us. The Jerusalem Talmud brings an example of this from this week's portion. When it came to donating for the Mishkan, for the construction of the tabernacle, the temporary temple, those people that were generous gave graciously. When it came to the building of the golden calf, almost all the men participated. The women were smarter, they didn't. But the men, they were giving. Even the ones that weren't naturally generous, they gave too. The evil inclination gets us to do things that normally on our own we wouldn't do, but he encourages us and pushes us to get up early to do the wrong thing. The righteous person has to push himself to do the right thing, but that's the evil inclination. So what can we do? How do you fight it? It's part of who we are. From when we're born, we have this evil inclination. So we have to come up with strategies to help us defeat him. Strategy number one is the study of Torah, because the Torah is the antidote for the evil inclination, and used properly can be a tool that can really help us defeat the power of the evil inclination, or at least temper it. Number two, we need to have strategies. Just as an example, there's a wonderful national organization called TAG, which for free of charge will put filters on someone's computers and phones so that they're not exposed to things that they shouldn't be exposed to. Again, it's a public service that they do. It's a wonderful, beautiful idea. We need to have filters to protect us from not seeing things or getting distracted in areas that we shouldn't be. So we have to have strategies. And I'd like to share some other strategies. There was a great rabbi who, whenever he got angry, he said, I can't respond because I have to put on my anger hat. And he had an anger hat somewhere in his closet, and he had to go get it, put it on, and then respond. Why did he do that? Because by the time he got his hat and switched hats and put on his anger hat, he had some time to think, and he calmed down a bit, and he didn't just lash out in anger. So that was a strategy that he used. There was a great rabbi who was a smoker, and when the information came out that smoking wasn't good for your health, and his doctor was encouraging him to stop smoking, what he decided to do is he stood in front of the study hall, and when all of the students were walking in, he said, good morning, and I want you to know I stopped smoking. And they were looking at him. But he said, I'm telling everybody I stopped smoking so that I will be embarrassed to start again or to continue smoking. So these are some of the strategies that we can do. Another thing to do is to try to live Judaism fully, and to be cognizant of that we are examples of God living in this world, and to try to live in a lofty manner. And there's a very beautiful story about a young man was a student of a particular yeshiva, and he was driving his car, and another car bumped into him. And it was another religious Jew, and the other driver said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said, "It's okay." This young student said, "It's okay, we'll work it out." And the other fellow said, "Look, I will pay for it. I think the damage isn't so severe. I'll give you $300, and if it's I don't think it'll cost more than that. But if it does, I'm happy to send you the money." And he says, "Fine." And he was very calm and very friendly and didn't get angry. And the man was very impressed with it. And then a few weeks later, this man called the yeshiva, the institution where the student was learning, and he said, "I want to compliment you about your student. What happened was the bill for the repairs was $288. So he called me up and he said, 'There's $12 left. What would you like me to do with it?'" That honesty and how civil he was, and his whole mannerism dealing with me on the accident, which was my fault. And I just want to get more involved in this yeshiva and supporting it. And he became a long-time supporter of that particular institution. So the boy was living a life where he understood that evil inclination is always present, but he wanted to be in the presence of the Almighty. And so these are the strategies we can do: study Torah, make things guard, like things to guard us from sinning, not putting ourselves in a situation where it's going to be too hard to make a mistake, be it the anger hat, be it filters on our internet, or telling people the good thing we're going to do so that it will be harder for us to backtrack from doing that thing. And also just living in the presence of God, so we want to be positive role models in how we live our lives. Have a wonderful Shabbos, and take care of yourselves. All the best.